Most people think that for you to make crazy amounts of money, you have to be involved in illegal activities. For example, be a drug lord or a warlord. And while that's true, that is actually a real lucrative business, most probably it will end up with you having a bullet at the back of your head, or maybe if you're lucky, in your hip. So I wouldn't advise you to go for that. So what are the ways in which you can make money? It's actually possible for you to make money while sleeping. These are called passive income ideas. You literally don't trade your time for money. You can sleep or do the things you love. Go out to the beach, enjoy, have fun in life while still making money. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of these ideas, and you can take up one, two, or all of them and utilize them to make as much money as you want in your life. So stick around right through to the end. Income stream number one is create an online course. Now this is something that a lot of people have actually utilized on the internet to make millions of dollars. I know people who make 5, 6, sometimes even over $10 million every year simply from selling online courses. Now for you to be able to do this and actually make these crazy amounts of money, you need to make sure that you understand what you're doing. No one is going to pay money for a hopeless course. I see a lot of people trying to sell courses, at $10, $20, $25 on the internet. Most of those courses people won't buy because they are hopeless courses. People don't even feel like they'll get value for even the $25 that they pay for them. In fact, most of that information you'll be able to find for free all over the internet. But for someone to pay crazy amounts of money, for someone to pay $5,000, $10,000, $2,000 for a course, they need to feel like what they are paying for is value for them. They are putting in maybe $10,000 into that course, and they're going to be getting something that's worth more than $10,000 in their life. So you need to make sure that it's a well-made course, well-researched, it actually provides value, and it ensures that people actually get the results of what the course promises. So that usually requires a very high level of skill. You should have mastered usually what you've been doing. But you don't even need to do that. Sometimes people are willing to learn from people just one step ahead of them in the learning journey. So maybe it won't cost, $10,000 or $2,000 for you for the course. Maybe you can sell the course for $200, $100. You're just a little bit further ahead in the learning process, whether it's learning guitar, whether it's some computer coding, whether it's music, whatever it is, you can create a course for it, ensure that it provides value for the money, and then you can put it outside there. Now, the way you do this is that people do it differently. Some people will put it on online learning platforms like Skillshare, Udemy. Others will create personal websites and have people enroll for them. And you can either do it as a subscription-based service, or you can do it as a one-time purchase for the course. Don't forget, you need to make sure that someone feels like it's value for money, and for you to keep it relevant, a lot of the times, you need to make sure that you continuously update the course with better information, with more updated information, for people to feel like it's valuable to them. So this is one I really recommend, and it can make you lots and lots of money. Number two is blogging. Now for you to make money from blogging, the most important thing is create an audience. Now a blog is usually something which is written down. People keep coming back to it to read for information. It doesn't matter the topic, you need to make sure that people get value from it. Now there are things which people feel like provide more value to them than others. Things where people are more likely to get entailed, to get intertwined. Things like what? Things like fitness, things like health, things like religion, things like finance, productivity. If you pay attention to some of these things and then you start writing content, good content that people find valuable, content that will change their lives, then you consistently have people coming back to your blog to read up as much as possible, to get updated with the information. So once you do that, then you'll build an audience for people consistently coming to your website, wherever you're hosting your blog from. And what that ensures is that once you have a huge number of people coming over there, people who trust you for what you're doing, then you can monetize the blog. So how can you monetize the blog? It can be done through very many different ways. One of the easiest ways is selling a product through the blog. If, for example, you're doing a fitness blog, then you can sell maybe sneakers. You can work with a sneakers company, come up with a personalized product that you think would be very good for your audience and place it on the platform. If you are doing health, maybe you can come up with a food product, a health product, and place it on the platform, on your blog, and people can buy it. Another one is through affiliate marketing. All the things that you use, things that you utilize. If, for example, your blog is about, let's say graphic designing, then you can make deals with some of the companies that make the software, or the computer companies, because you have to use a computer when you're doing graphic designing, and then they'll give you a small share of purchases every time someone purchases for them. Those are called affiliate marketing. So they'll give you an an affiliate link which you can then place on your website, so that every time someone clicks on it and purchases, they'll give you a very small, buyback. Maybe it's an Amazon link. They give you a very small percentage, but once they come together, that can actually be quite an amount of money. I've seen a lot of people doing this and they have earned lots and lots of money, sometimes $5,000, $10,000 every month, simply from affiliate marketing. Also, you can do sponsorship deals on your blog. If it's, let's say, fitness, you can have maybe an Adidas or another one of the fitness companies come over to you and ask to sponsor a post that you're going to be writing, and that way you bring in quite an amount of money. Idea number 3 is social media. Now, of course, people use social media for a lot of hopeless things. I've actually made an entire video about how to utilize social media to get rich. I'll leave a link to that video in the description below. But people use social media for getting news, getting information. Sometimes it's simply to waste time, to just go and check out things, to get a boost of adrenaline and dopamine in your body. But you can utilize and maximize that drive of people to spend time on social media to your advantage. So what do? You make sure that you start creating posts, whether it's X, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, or maybe TikTok. You just create content that ensures that people are consistently interested in what you're talking about. It doesn't matter the topic. Choose a topic, pick a topic, concentrate on it, consistently keep writing about it, and then you're going to grow an audience. You get, 50,000, 100,000, 1 million people. And once you have a huge following, then you can have advertisers come to you because they want you to post their products or their content or whatever it is to your audience. So you need to make sure that your audience finds value in your product. You want to make sure that your audience kind of treats you like a cow, because once you say something, they'll go outside there and buy it, they'll go outside there and do it. Once you do that, then companies will consistently come to you and look to sponsor the content that you create. So this is a very great idea. The thing that it involves though is that you need to consistently keep putting content outside there. So yes, it's a passive income idea in that once you create a post, money is just going to keep coming. It's not like, for every post you create, you get money once and you're done. No, you can create a post and, people will keep coming to you. They advertise on your channel and they keep paying you money over things that you did quite a while back, but it requires you to consistently keep working. So it's a passive income idea, but it involves a lot of active involvement on the social media. But people love using social media, so a lot of people won't even consider it work. That's why you've placed it here. Number 4 is peer-to-peer lending. Now, this I have actually seen a few friends do with me, even without using an online platform. At a particular point, I had a business that I had started and I was running it and I didn't have money. So what did I do? I went to a friend of mine. I'm like, hey, can you give me some money? I'll pay you back later. And he's like, well, I can give you the money, but you'll pay me back with 10% interest after, 2 months. And I had to pay the interest. I thought this was really bright. Now, of course, it has its issues in that you must be certain that you can trust this person to pay you back. This guy was a friend of mine. He didn't think that I would disappear with his money. But if you're going to be doing it with just friends, people you meet randomly, the highest likelihood is they're going to disappear with your money. So the other alternative that people usually do is that they use an intermediary. Usually it's websites. There's one, for example, called prosper.com, where you can literally go and get a loan. But again, it's an unsecured loan, and so it's quite complicated. It's quite difficult to trust the people. So if you're to join such a platform, the best thing to do is to not loan your money out in huge sums to an individual. No, break it down. You loan out small amounts of money to very many different individuals so that you decrease the risk of having your money lost. Also, once you get on these platforms, you need to make sure that you do proper background checks on the people, i.e. there's usually a history of how they have been paying back from previous people. So you can check on that. If someone has consistently been paying back, it's unlikely they're going to default on you. Like someone has been defaulting and previous people have been having issues getting their money back, then it's certainly not wise for you to go in with such a money. So the fact that people have to pay back interest to you simply means that this is a really lucrative business. All you need to do is give them money and wait. You don't need to do anything. Just sleep. After some time, you're going to get your 10% back, 20% back. Idea number 5 is renting out property. Now, this can be quite complicated. A lot of people actually think it's quite obvious, but it can be quite complicated. Depending on where you are, depending on the country you're in, it can be quite complicated. I've seen a lot of people actually build apartments, build houses, and people don't take them up. They'll remain empty for months, for years. years. You don't want to be in such a position because building houses or buying a house is actually very capital intensive. You put in a lot of money and usually it's going to take you years, maybe a decade or more than that to get your money back. So if you're going to be buying a place or building a place for people to rent, you don't want to have the place there and people are not staying inside there. So first of all, you need to make sure you do your background checks, make sure that you're in a place where people can actually come and rent the place. People are interested in renting in that area. But the second thing, you need to make sure that it's actually a viable option. Yeah, you need to make sure that if you're going to, for example, be buying the home or the rentals using a mortgage, you have expenses. For example, the mortgage expenses, you have tax expenses, you'll also have maintenance expenses. So the other downside is that if you have a client who doesn't take care of the home, that they could destroy the home, they could steal some of the stuff from the home, and it raises very high expenses for you. But the very beautiful thing about it is that you barely have work to do. Yeah, once you've understood the concept, you've got the concept of the entire place, you've gotten a good place where people are really interested in renting out the house, you understand how to deal with the taxes and the fees, and you've gotten really good clients. You want to get high-end clients because they're usually the best clients. They don't mess up stuff, they don't steal stuff. Once you've understood that, you don't have much to do. All you do is sleep and wait for your paycheck at the end of the month or at the end of 3 months or at the end of the year, whatever your contract or agreement is with your tenants. So this is a very, very great idea, one that I advise you to go into. Now, passive income idea number 6 is YouTube, just like this platform where you are. Now, I know people who make $5 million a year on YouTube. Can you imagine? Think about it. $5 million every year on YouTube. That's crazy amounts of money. So what that means is that you can make money from YouTube. Now, the first thing you need to understand is that the competition is on another level. I mean, people are creating new YouTube channels every year. I read a statistic the other day, I think so for your channel to stand out, you need to make sure that whatever you're producing is really, really good content. Very good content. So it requires you to produce good content consistently, understand the art of making YouTube videos, understand how to make thumbnails, understand how to, choose really good topics, understand how to edit videos. I've actually made a video about how to grow on YouTube. I'll leave a link to that video also in the description below. You can check it out. But you need to understand quite a lot when it comes to YouTube. And once you do that, then you grow an audience. And once you've grown an audience, the audience is literally what's going to pay you. You can get earning through very many different ways, just like blogging. Number one, through affiliate marketing. So for example, if you're talking about tech things, every time you talk about something in the tech world, you can leave a link to it in the description of the video, and if people want to buy it, they can click on it. It will take them to a platform where you get a small commission every time someone purchases it. With time, they pile up and it becomes a huge amount of money. Also, you can get sponsorships depending on the field that you're in. You can get people coming to sponsor your videos and they'll pay you huge back for the people who are watching your videos. Also, you can sell actual products on your YouTube channel, real actual products which can ship. Sometimes they can be digital products where someone just needs to download it. Sometimes you can sell courses. Why? Because you have a huge platform that people can trust. And then finally, YouTube pays for AdSense, through the ads that you see on YouTube videos. Every time someone is watching and they come across an ad, YouTube is given money by all these advertising companies, and it will give you a very small tiny percentage of that money, and that money goes to the YouTuber, of course. So that's a very great way of making money. So you can try it out. Idea number 7 is selling templates on online platforms. Now, I personally have bought a lot of templates from online platforms. For example, if you're a graphic designer, or if you're anything that does a lot of work on the internet, it doesn't matter the kind of template that you require, you most probably can find it on the internet and it will be paid for. So for example, I personally used to do a lot of graphic editing, and because of that, I had to buy a lot of brushes from Photoshop or templates for maybe stickers, a lot of things that I design. A lot of these you'll find on the internet. So if you're very good at one of these skills, maybe you're very good at Illustrator, maybe Adobe Premiere, and you can make templates, you can design these templates and sell them on online platforms like Brushes. These are really, really good platforms for you to make money. Every time someone downloads that template, you'll get a percentage of income going into your account, and with time, this will accumulate and you can actually make huge amounts of money, $5,000, even $10,000 every month while you're sleeping, simply using something that you made once. Idea number 8 is creating an app. Now, this is one that can actually be really, really lucrative. Can be really lucrative. So do you want to create a game? People really love games. They like spending their time and relaxing relaxing while playing games. Or you want to create an app that can make people's lives easy. Maybe it's an accounting app, maybe it's one for creating reports in whatever field of your interest. You can create one of these apps and place it on the internet. And how do you make money from it? Number one, you can either make money using ads, so you place ads inside the app, or number two, you can get people to monetize directly, either by paying a subscription fee to access the app or by making a one-time purchase of the app. Now, the thing with making apps is that the field is very competitive, really competitive, and it takes a lot of time to develop an app. So it could literally just waste your time to develop the app. But if you trust what you're doing, then it's a very lucrative. You need to make sure that whatever you're making really stands out. It has to be so different from what everyone else has made for people to feel like this creates value in their lives. It actually adds something onto them. Once you do that, you place it on the platform, and then you need to make sure that you consistently update it, because the thing with apps is that they are consistently changing. An app which is useful today might not be useful 2 months later. So you need to make sure that you're consistently updating it, you're consistently improving it, and also you're consistently marketing it so that people get to know about it and people get to understand the new features, and then that way you can make crazy amounts of money. I mean, it can flip your life around. You can make millions of dollars simply by making an app. Idea number 9 is selling stock footage. Now, because of the boost of content creation online, whether it's videos or using images, there is a need of stock footage, a very huge need of stock footage. For example, in this video, I'm sure you've seen a lot of stock footage that wasn't shot by me. A lot of this footage is acquired online. A lot of times you need to pay for it. So if you're someone who is very interested in photography, in videography, you can actually create a lot of this stock footage yourself. Just move around, move to nice places, get people involved, to take interesting scenes, and then create the stock footage and then place it on the internet. Once you place the footage on websites, on online platforms that sell this footage, for example, iStock, you'll get a particular percentage of money every time someone purchases and uses one of these footage. So it's a very lucrative way of you making money. If this is something you're interested in, if you actually like making videos, if you like taking pictures, this is something you enjoy, this is a very great idea. Then the next one is being able to sell designs and product online. Now, this is also a lucrative one. I have a friend and she makes about $10,000 every month simply from selling designs on Etsy. Yeah, she doesn't sell a physical product. She just writes designs and puts them on the internet, and people purchase them. They can go and read them and make their own thing. So you can actually make quite an amount of money from these online platforms. But not only that, you can design things. You can design caps, t-shirts, and all these things and sell them on these online platforms. The advantage with a lot of them is that since the platforms themselves, of course, are involved in making the money and it's a business, you don't have to invest a lot of your capital at the beginning. For example, you can just make a design that can be placed on a cap, place it on the website. If people buy, the website or the company that's advertising it for you keeps a particular percentage of the money, and they give you a particular percentage of the money. It's a very good way for you to get involved before you get to the level where you can design and make the things yourself and get involved in, purchasing the material, maybe the caps, maybe the t-shirt. It's a very good way to start it. So you can do websites like Etsy, like Zazo, like Cafe Press, and also you can advertise on platforms like Shopify. These are very good platforms where you can make a lot of money simply selling things where you're literally not involved. You'll just be sleeping, you design it once, place it once on the platform, and then it just starts selling, just like that. Idea number 11 is to rent your home temporarily or for a longer time. This is one that I've actually seen a friend of mine do, and he has got a lot of money from it. He was left a home by his parents. I think his parents moved out of the home, so they gave him the home. But for him, first of all, the home was in a really high-end place. But secondly, it was too big for him. He didn't have a family. He really didn't need the home. So what did he decide to do? He decided to rent it out. I think he gets paid about $3,000 every month for people to come and live in the home. So what he does is that he advertises the home on Airbnb, and people will come and live 3-4 months, and they pay him about $3,000 every month to live in the home. So what does he do? He just needs a smaller home, maybe $300, $200. That's perfect for him. He'll go and live over there, and then he utilizes his home to make money. So for you, that might not be possible, but maybe you're going on a short vacation. Maybe you're going for 2 months away from your home. While your home is empty, you can literally just list it on Airbnb Airbnb or any of the other online platforms and get people come in and, stay at your home, and then you make money from it. Of course, the issue with it is that a lot of times we're not comfortable with letting strangers come into their homes, but also people can get into your home and destroy your stuff, sometimes steal your stuff. So a lot of people are not comfortable with it, but the people who are comfortable with it can make a lot of money from it, and it's something that I advise you to do. Yeah, if you have a home over there that you're not utilizing, why not make money from it? Just utilize it to make money. Now the next idea is investing in a bond ladder. Now what's a bond ladder? This is a series of bonds that ideally mature at staggered times, at different times. These are very much loved by people who are about to retire or people who are retired because they're quite safe. You can be quite certain of the amount of money that's going to come. Now the advantage with staggered bonds is that they decrease your reinvestment risk. The thing with bonds is that you'll invest in a bond, and once it matures, the time gets done, you want to reinvest again, but the problem is that at the time of reinvesting, the interest rates might be quite low. So you only have this one time, you don't have any other opportunity to reinvest because you've kept the money until this point, or it has matured, you've gotten back your principal, and then you want to reinvest, but the interest rates are really terrible. So what do? You just split the risk. So what you do is that at the beginning, you can invest in bonds for maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. And then when the first one matures, of course, you'll have gotten your interest. You reinvest the principal in again another bond of maybe 1 year or maybe another one of 8 years. So what that ensures is that over time, over different years, you have the different bonds mature, but it has spread your risk of reinvestment in that even if the margins are low in a particular year, they'll certainly be high over another year. This is a very firm and certain way that a lot of mature people and elderly people can make a lot of money. Also, you don't need to be elderly. Yeah, it's just that bonds are usually done by people who are less afraid about losing their money, and it's usually people who are in their latter days of life, but you can also utilize them. And finally, you can invest in buying a local business. Now, of course, it's crazy that I've brought this up because usually businesses are not something which you just let there. You wouldn't consider a business as passive income. But if you're going to be buying a business and not setting up a business yourself, you can actually run it in one way or another as a passive income idea. How? Number one, if you're buying a business, you can let the people who are selling the business to you, first of all, be involved in the business. So you learn a few things, but also it reduces the risk for you because the people who are running the business understand it. Yeah, they understand it better and they know how to do it. So you can get them to help you in getting managers, in understanding the systems for running the business. That way, you're as involved as little as possible. But then, before you actually buy businesses, you need to take due diligence to do as much research as possible for the backside of the business. Yeah, you need to make sure that you do as much research as possible because sometimes what appears on the face value is not the reality. Someone might be coming to you and selling a business and it appears to be profitable, but they have noticed that it's probably on a wrong trend. Everything is just coming down and they have done everything they can and they can't change it. So they know, well, it's time for me to sell out, otherwise I'm in trouble. Or you could buy a business that's in debt, a business that's involved in criminal activity. So you need to make sure that you understand the backside of the business, understand why someone is selling the business, read and understand all the accounts and all the records of the business to ensure that you're not being thrown into trouble. But this is one that I personally love because I believe in businesses so much. I believe that businesses have the ability to catapult your life. And so if you've noticed, I was talking a lot about renting a home and actually not buying a home for you to live in. I do believe a lot in renting a home. I believe that buying a home for you to live in is actually a terrible investment. A lot of times it's not an investment, actually, it's a liability. So I've actually made a video right here where I'm sharing with you why buying a home or owning a home is actually a terrible idea. One that you shouldn't consider. Check it out. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, smash the notification bell. Catch you very soon with another video. Lots of love. Bye-bye.